Hi everyone. Well, it's been a rather controversial week for Wikileaks again. I guess that's part and parcel of the work that they're doing, and they've started to release some 250,000 documents pertaining to U.S. embassies and diplomats around the world and the communiques that they've sent to Washington and vice versa. Now, some of these things, some of the revelations are a bit trite, to be honest. Talking about Libyan President Colonel Gaddafi's buxom blonde Ukrainian nurse, and calling French President Nicolas Sarkozy an emperor with no clothes on, is not really the great heavy stuff that we were looking for. I don't really think this is going to do much to damage relations between the US and, say, France. To be honest, if you're a world leader, you've got to have a pretty thick skin anyway. But there've also been very salacious tidbits as well, including the fact that America has been bombing Al-Qaeda bases, I think, in Yemen, and the Yemeni president has been basically lying to his people, saying that it was the Yemen forces bombing them, when in fact it was America. But the actual things I've just talked about, I buy the by, because that's not really what I want to talk about. There's a hell of a lot of hatred out there for WikiLeaks, and especially for Julian Assange, where some people even calling for him to be executed and for WikiLeaks to be classified as a terrorist organisation. Well, I kind of understand to some certain extent how those people feel. This is my official position on it. While they may not have gone about it the right way, I am totally for this kind of organisation existing. I mean, to me, I like the concept of having this organisation that's kind of keeping a close eye on the governments of the world, or at least, or in this case, just the United States government. And I can see why they did pick them. America still is the biggest country in the world, I think. China not that far behind, if they're not number one already. And to look closely at them and to try and obtain documents, maybe illegally, and giving them to the public so the public can actually see what their government is doing. I like that idea. That's a good thing. But as I said, they've gone about it the wrong way. Revealing Afghan informants, that's a big no-no for me, because that's something that in real time could harm the war efforts in Afghanistan. Maybe these people will go into hiding because they're shit scared now that they're going to be killed. And that means American forces get less information overall, and that could damage the war effort. And no matter what I think of certain people in the US government, or the reasons that we went into war in the first place, I still think that the American forces are there to try and do the good thing, to try and get rid of the terrorism, trying to make it a freer place. So I'm all for these documents being released, as long as they don't harm, in the present day, any sort of spy secrets, things to that effect. I mean, I don't think they should just focus on the US government. I mean, let's not, all governments are corrupt to some extent. So I think they should go after some other governments as well, maybe some in Europe. Just so it's not all America, and America gets all the leaks, if you see what I'm saying. Now, I know they may have to go through illegal means in order to get some of these documents, but if the military is doing something that maybe they're not supposed to, then of course they're going to make it against the law in order to show these documents, because it would damage them. And in my opinion, if you're doing something illegal, or if WikiLeaks published some documents in which we found out that the United States military, or parts of it, were engaged in illegal operations, then to me that's a good thing, because in that case, then I don't really give a fuck whether they're gotten through illegal means or not. What they're doing is illegal, and by shedding the harsh light of scrutiny on them, then hopefully we might get some change. I mean, of course, in the perfect world, it would be great, because we could just have an investigation, round up all the people who were involved in the illegal operation, all the way up to the top brass, whoever that may be, and deal with them. If it were a perfect world, George W. Bush and Dick Cheney would already be on trial for illegally waterboarding certain suspects. But alas, that's not the world we live in. But I still think that and WikiLeaks as a concept is a good idea. But just so people don't misunderstand what I'm trying to say, I'm fine with these kind of documents being released. I have no problem with it under certain conditions. I don't want names out there which could in real time affect the goings on of this world. I wouldn't have any problem with secret documents from World War II or something coming out, because that's not exactly going to impact the world we live in today. But names, places, strategies, things like that, that are still being used today, then I don't think that stuff should be made public. You know, I think the people have a right to know what's going on with their military, unless it puts in danger their own military personnel or their secret informants. So in summary, transparency, WikiLeaks concept good, naming informants, putting people's lives in danger bad. I hope everyone got that. Okay, good. That's all I want to say on the subject. Hopefully I've kept this short enough so that people don't get too pissed off just in case they misconstrued what I said or something. So cheerio everyone.